New York City is more than a collection of buildings. It is a living record of history, written in brick, stone, iron, steel, and glass. Walk through its streets, and you can see centuries of change standing side by side. But how did New York become one of the most recognizable architectural cities in the world? Its story begins at the southern tip of Manhattan, when the city was still known as New Amsterdam.
In the 17th century, Dutch settlers established New Amsterdam on Manhattan Island. The settlement was small, with wooden houses, narrow streets, warehouses, and buildings influenced by Dutch architecture. After the English took control in 1664, New Amsterdam became New York. Over the following centuries, the growing city developed brick buildings, churches, marketplaces, and elegant homes influenced by European architectural traditions. But Manhattan was about to change dramatically.
The 19th century, New York's population exploded. The city expanded northward, and in 1811, the Commissioner's Plan introduced the famous Manhattan street grid. Straight streets and avenues divided much of the island into an organized urban pattern. This simple plan would become one of the foundations of modern Manhattan. As the population grew, rows of brownstone houses appeared throughout the city. These elegant homes, often built with raised stoops and decorative facades, became one of New York's defining architectural features.
New York was becoming an industrial and commercial powerhouse. Factories, warehouses, stores, and offices transformed neighborhoods throughout Manhattan. In areas such as Soho, cast iron architecture became especially important. Large windows, repeating columns, and elaborate metal decorations allowed buildings to combine strength with dramatic visual design. At the same time, engineering achievements were changing the possibilities of architecture. One of the greatest examples was the Brooklyn Bridge. Completed in 1883, its massive stone towers and suspension cables connected Manhattan and Brooklyn and became an engineering symbol of the modern city.
The 1920s and 1930s brought the spectacular Art Deco movement. Art Deco architecture used geometric patterns, dramatic setbacks, metallic details, and bold vertical forms. The Chrysler Building became one of its greatest masterpieces. Its famous crown transformed the New York skyline into something that looked almost futuristic. Then came the Empire State Building. Completed in 1931, it quickly became one of the world's most famous skyscrapers. Its enormous height, elegant proportions, and distinctive tower demonstrated what New York architecture had become: a competition to build higher, faster, and more spectacularly. But New York architecture was never only about skyscrapers. Grand Central Terminal demonstrated how architecture could transform transportation into a monumental public experience. Its enormous interior, classical details, and dramatic main concourse became an architectural landmark. Rockefeller Center later created another vision of the modern city. Its Art Deco towers, public spaces, artwork, and commercial buildings showed that an entire neighborhood could be designed as one architectural composition. After World War II, however, architectural tastes began to change. Modernism favored simplicity, glass, steel, open space, and functional design. The city's skyline began to take on a completely new appearance.
The World Trade Center became one of the most powerful symbols of this new era. Its twin towers dominated Lower Manhattan and represented the growing importance of modern engineering and international commerce. Their disappearance in the September 11 attacks permanently changed the city's architectural landscape. The rebuilding of Lower Manhattan eventually produced a new generation of architecture. One World Trade Center rose above the site as a symbol of renewal. Its glass facade reflects the changing sky, while its enormous height connects the present city with New York's long tradition of building upward.
Today's New York is a mixture of all these architectural eras. Historic brownstones stand near glass skyscrapers. Cast iron buildings have been transformed into modern commercial spaces. Former industrial areas have become neighborhoods filled with restaurants, galleries, offices, and apartments. The High Line is another example of New York's ability to reinvent its past. An abandoned elevated railway was transformed into a public park, surrounded by both historic buildings and striking contemporary architecture. Across Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and beyond, old structures continue to coexist with new ones.
And that is what makes New York's architecture so remarkable. It is not one style. It is not one period. It is centuries of ambition, engineering, culture, immigration, commerce, creativity, tragedy, and renewal built into one city. From the wooden streets of New Amsterdam to brownstone neighborhoods, from the first skyscrapers to the Art Deco towers, from modern glass buildings to today's super tall skyline, New York has continually rebuilt itself. Its architecture is not simply the background of the city, it is the story of the city itself.